Minister.
And in this bar.
Welcome to another episode of Hard Lessons with Demel Hannah. I am your host, Demel Hannah. Today, I'm going to be talking about the appeal process, because a lot of people don't know how just frustrating and restless that it can be. You know, a lot of people during the time of them being convicted to them being, sent to prison, and them being denied over and over and over and over and over. You know, your family begins to lose hope. You know, your friends and, close associates begin to lose hope. So, it's a process. I did 18 years for a crime I didn't commit. I was able to give, I was supposed to get out 2022. I got out 2016 because on direct appeal, they vacated my armed robbery charge. You know, they had ran both charges like they didn't happen in one single course of conduct. If you committed a home invasion and in the process of you invading someone's home, you shot them, they can't sentence you for the home invasion separate from the attempted murder. They got to run them both together. So the judge didn't. She gave me time on the murder charge because I was convicted of armed robbery and first-degree murder. She gave me time on the armed robbery charge, and then she gave me time on the murder and ran it wild. She was trying to put my ass under the jail, which was unlawful. You know what I mean? So I was able to, do some things on direct appeal, which vacated the armed robbery charge those years. So my time was essentially reduced, and that's why I'm talking to you right now. But I'm still fighting to remove that asterisk off my record, that blemish altogether. So I'm still fighting, as we speak. But the appeal process is, the majority of us that come from, these places in which we come from, what we call the hood, the ghetto, urban America, whether you white, black, or brown, it doesn't matter. Poor is poor. We can't afford, proper representation. We don't have the resources or the means to acquire proper representation, somebody that's really intensely and diligently going to fight for us. So we don't have the money, so we be shit out of luck. I don't, man, whatever, man. But you joined the gang, you've been convicted of a crime, your ass is now sitting in a prison not knowing what the hell your future holds. Well, let me tell you, if your attorney, public defender, whatever, filed a notice for direct appeal after you were sentenced, about time you get to the penitentiary and you get acquainted, you should get a letter from either, in my case, the Illinois, the appellate public defender's office, because I didn't have no money. I was convicted with a damn public defender, and when I went to trial, when I went to the penitentiary, I had no damn resources. I had no means of acquiring, a paid attorney. So I had to deal with what the state gave me, with what the state was offering, which was the same thing they offered when I came in the county, a public defender. So I have a public defender trying to correct the mistakes in which her colleague committed before I went to prison. Good luck with that. A public defender has been appointed to your case on direct appeal to correct the mistakes or the wrongs that her colleague, who was a public defender, committed, which has resulted your ass going to prison. Good luck, man. You know what I mean? But if the public defender makes contact with you maybe a month or two after you've been in the penitentiary, just really letting you know, certain things that they got to do, certain issues that they think ready you some type of justice, some type of relief, you know, or render, excuse me, not ready, render you some type of justice, some type of relief. You know, they package those issues in what they call, you know, it's captioned, your notice of direct appeal. It's a brief. It's going to be a brief. That's what they call it, a brief. And, you know, like the movie Pelican Brief with Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts, one of my best movies. But you know, they call it a brief and they send it to the courts. The court's either gonna say you have some valid issues, and they're gonna either concur or they're gonna dissent. If they concur that you do in fact have some issues that needs to be addressed, you know, they're gonna either reverse your conviction and remand your case for a new trial. That's what it's gonna say. If you get one of those type of that's the happiest you can be in the penitentiary. If you receive a letter from the court saying that they have reversed and remanded your case for a new trial, that's the happiest news you can get when you're in the penitentiary, and only a small minority fraction of individuals receive such a letter. I went to the penitentiary in 1999. I went through my first public defender. She was able to render me, you know, some justice in this aspect. She did her job and enforced them to correct, you know, the sentence in which they imposed. They ran it wild. They gave me consecutive sentences when they should have just, everything should have ran concurrently together. But the judge imposed consecutive sentences. So she gave me this time for this case and this time for this case, and she ran it wild. So the 35 was supposed to eat up to 10 if she would have ran it concurrently, but she ran it consecutively. So it was 35 plus 10, which made it 45. She was trying to bury my ass, man. She was very just evil. You know what I mean? Very just evil, you know. So on the direct appeal, my appellate defender was able to, you know, force them to correct the sentencing error. After that, you know, as you know, her and I was in communication. I was going to the law library. I was learning the law. I was becoming aware. So after that, I knew I was on my own. I filed a post-conviction after that. I was denied. I think I filed an appeal. I appealed my post-conviction. I was denied. And then I waited maybe some years, and I was able to come in contact with someone, and he was able to help me get back in court. I actually physically got back in court 2008. That was 9 years after my conviction. So 2008, they writted me back to court. Whatever institution I was in at the time, I was taken to Stateville, which is the Northern District Holding Center for individuals that's going back and forth to court, or individuals that steadily, you know, they fresh in the system and they still fighting their crimes, their cases. So I went on 9 court writs between 2008 and 2009, 2008 of April, from 2009, I believe, August. No justice was rendered, but I learned a lot because I was representing myself. I was literally going inside of a courtroom with shackles on, with my legal folder, representing myself. You know, so, I kept fighting. You know, after that, I think I filed something where I was challenging my sentencing. And then I just kept filing. I filed executive clemencies. I never stopped fighting, man. But the appeal process, Sometimes it takes individuals 20, 30 years to prove their innocence. Some individuals that went to death row never was given an opportunity to prove their innocence. You know, when you take on this tough and bad persona, anything can happen to you. If the community perceives you as being a bad guy, as being a nuisance, and you know, when they wake up and they hear that you've been charged with murder, they're not going to question whether or not you did it, because this is the image that you are projecting, you know, to the community, you know, and to the world. You know what I mean? And I know, you know, a lot of innocent people get killed. A lot of innocent people are convicted, case in point, and sentenced. You know what I mean? But if you could stop, you know, some of this stuff from happening, I would encourage you to put things in play that will, you know, prevent you going through this type of stuff. Because when you get in the system, it's so difficult to get out. It's so hard, man. I thought I'd never get out of prison, man. You know, I was very hopeful, but I didn't see myself getting out of prison and, you know, being here. I did not, you know, so it's just so hard, man. It's hard. The appeal process is set up for you to lose, you know, seriously. It's set up for you to lose. There's really no winners. I mean, even if you win your case, it's going to take you 10, 15 years. So you've lost 10, 15 years of your life, 10, 15 years with your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your wife, your kids. You know what I mean? So, damn, man, the appeal process is difficult, man. I never stop fighting. If you're in there, I would encourage you to never stop fighting. But if you're not in there, I would encourage you never to join a damn gang. And you possibly can prevent a lot of this bullshit from happening to your life. It's not really an infraction, because if you on an investigation, they give you a notice. They give you a notice of why your ass has been placed under